Hello, my pretties. It's the Queen of Lions here. Welcome to Q&A video of March of 2022. Now, yeah, I know about it earlier in February. I posted a Q&A community post for you guys to, list down your questions for me to answer or something. So, yeah, today I am going to be answering your questions. So, anyways, let's get started. So, the first question right here is from Nick Cooper saying, "What is the hardest decision you ever have to make in Telltale's Walking Dead?" Well, I think that would have to be to either shoot Lee or leave Lee to turn. That one, although it is sad that Lee died, it is still a very difficult decision I've ever had to make in Telltale's Walking Dead. Dizzy Gamer, also known as the Pyro Fury, asked, "What is your first reaction to hear that my creepypasta appeared on the Creepypasta Wiki?" I think that's pretty cool that it did. Because, to be fair, I mean, most creepypastas that people submit don't get really accepted in the Creepypasta Wiki. Well, I mean, very few of them do, but I guess it depends if it's any good or something. Now, Alex Hart asked if my picture of Captain Feathersword I posted when I made the community post is from the Wiggles. Yes, he is from the Wiggles, in case if he's wondering. I know he already answered it earlier, but I just want to state that now. Queen of Lions, can you do a reaction to my little do list story? If you could link it to me on Star Dash Studios, that would be great. Now, that next question I just read, that was from Star Dash Studios. Okay. I know the comment that Gemstone made was just some lines. Evan Richardson asked 4 questions. One is, have you seen anime Ruby? To answer that, I have actually seen some bits of it, and it's a pretty good anime, to be honest. I really think it's pretty neat. Really cool, in my opinion. And the second one is, what is your dream job growing up? I'm hoping to become an actress, like an actress to voice characters, or even to act in general. I'm really hoping to get an acting job, or at least maybe work at a school as a teacher or something like that. The first question he asked me is, "What's your favorite Disney movie besides The Lion King?" To be fair, I don't really can't really say which one's my other favorite Disney movies. I mean, I will have to say, I've seen some other ones, but I would have to say my next favorite would have to be Aladdin. That one was really good. I'm not denying that right now. That one was pretty good. And the fourth question is, who's your favorite? It could be secondary or main characters. My favorite game characters would have to be Lily from Lily, Clementine, AJ, Lewis, and Kate Garcia. And Lee, too, obviously. Lee, Carly. I mean, I like a lot of them, actually. I know there's a couple of them that I don't really care for. Like, some characters I don't care for. And there's some of them that I really don't really, like that much. I mean, I could list them all, but it would just be a very long list. Now, Bobby asked, "Why did you sub to my channel?" To answer that, just because, well, why not? Because, everyone needs to support every now and then, so, yeah. And Max Guy 240 asked me, "Do you hate drama?" Yes, I do. That's why I stay out of it. And I think people who are into it should stay out of it too. And the second question he asked me is, "Do you own a fursuit in IRL?" No, but I would like to own a fursuit, though. I would like to own one. And the third question is, what is your three favorite colors? Purple, pink, and blue are my favorite colors. The fourth question, do you miss your childhood? Yes, I do. I sometimes wish I can go back to being a kid so that I can do all the things that I loved doing as a kid, like watching cartoons and stuff like that. Fifth question is, who is your favorite YouTuber? That's kind of a hard question, but if I had to pick one of them, it would have to be the Shadow Reader. Like, I really watched the Shadow Reader sometime in 2017 on his old channel, and I really liked his content, and I still do. Question number 6 is, would you rather breathe in space or breathe in underwater? Breathing underwater would be really cool, because then I could act like a fish. 7th question, favorite food. My favorite food would have to be pizza. I really like pizza, but I do like hot dogs and other stuff. Question number 8, favorite fruit. That would have to be strawberries. I always love strawberries, and I always really like to eat them a lot as a kid. And the 9th question is, what's your favorite vegetable? Well, my favorite vegetable would have to be, if I had to guess, would have to be broccoli. I mean, I know people don't really care for veggies, but broccoli to me, I really like it when it's dipped in ranch, and that's what makes it taste really good. And the final question is, what's my favorite animal? Well, besides a lion, that's obvious with my name, I also would have to say my other favorite animal would have to be a horse. So, Lisset Garcia asked 2 questions. The first one is, what lost episode creepypasta you made and made you think they were now becoming cliched? If I have to say one lost episode creepypasta made me think that they've now becoming cliche, that would kind of have to be the VeggieTales 1993 story. I remember I liked it back then, but after seeing Shadow's rant on it, I actually took another look at it, and I would have to agree with Shadow on the things about the VeggieTales 1993 story. I don't even understand why it got popular to begin with, but yeah, it did. Now, number 2 from Lisa Garcia is, if you were to choose 2 old school bands to listen to or hang out with, who would it be? Mine would have to be the Beatles, because their music's awesome, and the Rolling Stones, because, I liked listening to their music as a kid, and I still do every now and then. So, Seth Bayona asked, what's your opinion on Ultra Instinct Shaggy and Bowsette memes? I think they're pretty good, to be honest. I really do find it's pretty nice. It's awesome. I do really like it. So, yeah, those memes are cool. Grizzly Knight, Glizzly, I don't know why I said Grizzly. Glizzly Knight asks 3 questions. Do you like lost episodes can be found again? Well, to answer the first question, I do. I really found it to be really neat. I still like it. And to be fair, I found it to be a really awesome story. If you haven't listened to the narration, I feel free to check that out. Second question is, was Crybaby Lane creepypasta trash? I didn't think it was trash to me. I mean, it was a classic creepypasta, but it does need a little bit of improvement on it. But other than that, I still find it to be a really good movie regardless of it. And the third question is, what's your thoughts on the movie Fidel? I've never seen that movie, so, I mean, I've heard of it, and I've only seen bits and clips of it, but not really all of it. So, yeah. That's my answer for that. Bowser Jr. asked me, what's my favorite classic creepypastas? One of them, I'm going to have to say, for one, would have to be Dead Bart, although it is cliched of its own self, but that's one of the first popular creepypastas that became a classic at that time. Another classic creepypasta I would have to say would have to be the Peter's Shadow creepypasta. A third one would have to be the Burger Entries story. That one was really good. And the fourth one I would have to say was the Lost Episodes Can't Be Found Again. Those regular, favorite classic creepypastas were amazing. Now, Ackley Attack 1127 Productions asked me 5 questions. First one being, which title do you like for your Luann and Lenny funny pasta? Fashion of Pranking or A New Dumb Prankster? I think A Fashion of Pranking would probably be a really good title for a funny pasta if Luann and Lenny were to pull pranks. I think that'd be quite interesting. I can imagine maybe the Loud House do an episode like that. That'd be pretty cool. And the second question is, do you want to see Maggie in season 6 as a recurring character? I mean, I don't really, she's not really, in the show very much, but I would like to see her maybe in an episode around her or something, at least. But other than that, the third question is, which 3 members from the Feedier Club you like most? For me, Luann, Benny, and Parvana. One the first two is obviously Luann and Benny, and the third one would have to be Shannon. Those are my three favorite members from the Feedier Club. Fourth question is, would you like Parvana as a recruiting character in the Loud House Season 6? Well, I mean, I think it'd be quite cool to see the character recruiting in Season 6. Although I haven't really caught up in watching the Loud House really much, so yeah. And the final question from him was, what are your Loud House Season 6 ideas? To be fair, I don't really have ideas really much for Season 6, but I really would like to see one episode involving, Luann and Benny more. Like, I would like to see more, episodes involving Luann and Benny. Like, maybe, I don't know, Luann's boyfriend Benny meets, Mr. and Mrs. Loud or something. Like, that'd be quite interesting. Like, one of those ideas would be really cool. But yet again, it's a mystery on how Loud House is gonna do. Now, Ultimate Force AMVs asked me favorite comedy shows. Despite the fact that I haven't really watched TV, if I had to say one comedy show few comedy shows I like, one of them being, Everybody Loves Raymond, Reba, Golden Girls, definitely. Another show would have to be, Family Guy. Those are my 4 favorite, comedy shows. I do have other ones too, but some of them I can't remember their names or just can't know how to put them in too much into words, really. Now, Foxy the Cool Fox asked me, if you like Five Nights at Freddy's, which Five Nights at Freddy's character is your favorite? Well, I do like Foxy. I think he's quite cool. But I also think my most favorite character would have to be Bonnie. Bonnie's pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. I really think Bonnie is a cute character in Five Nights at Freddy's. And I do like Five Nights at Freddy's. I have played most of the games, but I haven't really played them in a really long time. I think I played up to the 4th game. And then that's it. Now, Isaac Morning asked, do you like Mr. Krabs? Well, he is greedy in SpongeBob, but I do think he's a pretty interesting character. In my honest opinion, if I had to put it that way. One visual FX guy asks, I remember that character. Well, it's not a question, but I decided to go ahead and read it anyway. Now, Swell Lizard Boy asks, what are the things that annoy me the most? Well, one of them being the heat, because in the summertime it gets really hot and it gets annoying. The cold in the wintertime because it's freezing. What is it? Oh yeah, another thing that annoys me is, mosquitoes. Obviously that annoys pretty much everybody. If I had to say the 4th thing would have to be my brother sometimes. Like, not all the time. I mean, my brother can sometimes be a pain in the ass, but I still love him regardless. Regardless of how annoying he could be, I still love him though. Kane Bowser asks what my favorite memes are. I would have to say I like a lot of memes, but the Willy Wonka memes were my favorites because most of them I did read. They were pretty funny, and I'm not gonna lie, they were really awesome. So, yeah. King Herman the Wise asks, which nostalgia franchises are your personal favorites? That's gonna be kind of a hard one because I don't actually have a favorite. I actually think all nostalgia franchises are pretty cool, even when I was a kid. I think The Lion King was one of my favorite franchises that are nostalgia because, The Lion King came out in 1994, so yeah, that movie's over 25 years old. Not Hoax, sorry about that, I just had to kind of, sorry, I it's kind of my computer glitched for a minute, so I couldn't release the name. So, C4D asked, are you into death metal music? I somewhat do like it, but sometimes I don't. I guess it really depends on the album and the artists per se, but I don't really, listen to death metal that much. I mean, sometimes if I'm in a bad mood and I just want something to calm me down, then yeah, I would sometimes, listen to that. BC Network asked me 4 questions. Oh boy. First one being, did you hear that Andal is back to doing creepypastas again? I actually just saw that a couple days ago. I saw that Andal got back into creepypastas for the first time in a couple years. Like, I mean, Andal stopped doing creepypastas at one point due to some copyright issues in that, which I think that's very unfortunate. But I'm glad that Andal got back into creepypastas again, so I'm really glad Andal got back into that, so that's awesome. Question number 2 is, what is your favorite Shadow Reader creepypasta? One of them I'm gonna have to say my most favorite Shadow Reader creepypasta would have to be the Barney episode. I mean, I know he wrote 2 of them, but both Barney creepypastas he wrote were pretty good. I'm gonna say right now, I really like those 2 creepypastas. Now, third question is, what's your favorite movie? Well, besides The Lion King, if I have to say what's my other favorite non-Disney movie, that would have to be James Cameron's Titanic. That's my favorite non-Disney movie, but if it's a Disney movie, I would pick Lion King or Aladdin, the original movies, obviously. The last question from BC Network is, have you ever considered doing more collabs with the Shadow Reader? Now, that has been kind of something I've been kind of wanting to know for like a long time. Yeah, I know some people were asking me about that. I'm hoping to do more collabs with the Shadow Reader, but that's going to be kind of hard. So, yeah, that's going to be kind of hard because I understand that Shadow Reader is busy nowadays, so that could be why. Now, Master Swordsman asks, if you were to do a question in a Q&A, which would it be? Asking myself a question, eh? That's interesting. Well, that's going to be pretty difficult, actually. I would probably ask myself if I could go back in time in the past, where would I go and why? That's probably one of the questions I'd be asking myself. But other than that, that's going to be a pretty good and hard question to answer. Carla the Blue Macaw Everest asks, cool, and what's your opinion on a High School Musical 2006? I wasn't really a fan into High School Musical for some reason. Even when I was a kid, I didn't really get that interested into that series. I don't know what it is, but something about it just made me feel that I just didn't really care for High School Musical. I don't have anything against people that like it. I respect people's opinions if they like it. So me, I'm just not a fan of it. But yet again, that's just my opinion. Blaze the Firewolf asked, would you do your personal thoughts and opinions on videos on Scooby-Doo related movies or shows? I actually did a few of them on Shadows and Pretties in a couple episodes, so if you want to check out those, you can. But yes, I do have more of those videos coming along for Shadows and Pretties, but I would also have to say I do my personal thoughts and opinions on videos on, Scooby-Doo related movies and shows. I do that in Shadows and Pretties, and I express my opinions and thoughts for them. Bailey Maloney asked me a question saying, who's your favorite voice actress for Daphne Blake and Scooby-Doo and why? That would have to be, Mary Kay Bergman. Before she died, she was pretty good in Zombie Island, which is Ghost and Alien Invaders. But also the actor who is playing as Daphne now, called Grey DeLisle. I think she's a pretty good actress. And speaking of which, she's also the voice of Lola and Lana Loud from The Loud House. But she's also voices who is it? Oh yeah, Vicky from Fairly Odd Parents. And I kind of noticed because their voices are very similar, and yeah, they're quite similar to the different voices. So that's kind of how I knew, certain voice characters sound the same. So that answers that question. Okay, so now Jessica asks, would the Barney Bunch take me if I was one of them because I'm a boy and gay? Probably. If you like the Barney Bunch, then yeah, I can see that happening. What would happen if Cosmo Wanda met the Barney Bunch and called them a sick? Wanda, I can't see her join the Barney Bunch because, Wanda's a girl, and taking the fact that the Barney Bunch does not allow women, but men. But since Cosmo is a guy, yeah, I could see him join the Barney Bunch, and he probably get what happens when they say Drew Pickles is trigger word. Okay, I guess that's all the questions for this Q&A. Now, I want to thank you so much for putting your questions down. Thank you so much yet again. I mean, if you didn't get your questions put down on this post I made, in February, which was last month, I'm considering doing another Q&A video sometime maybe near the end of the year, and when that becomes the case, I will definitely be sure to sit there and what was it? I'll be sure to sit there and, make sure I have another community post if I do decide to do a Q&A video. I'm not saying I will, but that's if I decide to. But I guess with that being said, with that being the case, I'm just going to sit here and say this now. Yeah, I do apologize that I didn't get a chance to answer your videos that you didn't have a chance to hear or something. But with that being said, with that being the case, what did you guys personally think? Did you all like it? Did you all not? Also, what you have done personally to help make this story, well, not story, but what would you have done to, help out with the Q&A video if you were to do one yourself? Yeah, feel free to leave me what your thoughts down in the comments below, and I'm gonna sit here and basically, yeah, wrap up this Q&A video. I don't know if I'll do another one near the end of this year. I might, but that's gonna depend if I decide to or whenever I have the time to do so. But anyways, yeah, I'm the Queen of Lions. Thank you so much for watching today's episode, and if you're new to this channel, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe because I make brand new videos every single day. Don't forget to ring the notification bell to when I upload, so that way you guys will not miss an upload. And as always, please roll the outro because I'm out of here, and I'll catch you all next time.